It's not a dog. You've got a Wookiee. Like, he will pull your arms out of your sockets, man. So I was down in Columbus. I got invited by the Cars and Coffee guys for the Columbus International Auto Show to put my Viper down there with the Cars and Coffee guys. It was a good time. And I think the last day I was there with my wife, and we were walking around. I was away from the car. As it happens when you get out there on YouTube and whatnot, people see the car, of course, and they recognize it maybe from a story or something later. And I was walking along, and all of a sudden a guy comes up to me, and he's actually got one of my YouTube videos already queued up on his phone. And he's like, hey, you know this guy right here? Like, just already kind of busting my balls. And he was doing it in a really fun way. It wasn't being like a total goof or messing with me in a bad way, you know? He enjoyed the stories. He's a big VINwiki fan. He saw my channel as well and recognized it. And of course, my Viper was splashed on the scene here at VINwiki with the the crash in that episode, so he enjoyed that. But we got to talking and kind of hit it off. He's a car guy, really was thinking about getting a Viper too. Some of his buddies were there. They were into motorcycles and whatnot. And actually he was a police officer, and one of his other friends was as well. And then he gets the conversation going, and he was in the Air Force as well. I'm like, no way. And I said, well, man, I got to tell you, I just got back from Nellis Air Force Base, and that's when I got to go spend some time with the Thunderbirds. I'm like, I got to tell you. And he's just like, you got to be kidding me. That's what we all wish we could do. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just really fortunate. And so I showed him that. We'll all hit it off in that way. And loves Viper, and he invites me. He's like, hey, man, anytime you want to get together, hang out, talk Air Force, drive cars, or you want to go on a ride along? I'm like, yeah, all right. So I connect with him, and I've never actually been on a ride along with police. I've never really hung out with them. Usually when you're in a sports cars and you think of police, you're like, well, maybe I should drive slower. And so I'm driving up to the police station in the Viper, and it hit me. I've been here once before. Oh, that's right, I paid a speeding ticket. But I get there, and he's super cool, and he's actually also the K9 unit guy, so get a ride along with that, with the German Shepherd and the dog, so meet him. Dog is super cool, right? Go into the station and look around, and get to go in sort of the briefing, and everybody's sitting there, and it's all modern, you know, and the first thing I guess I didn't realize is how decked out police actually are nowadays, with gears, vests, tools, cameras, weapon, everything. I was actually taken aback by it a little bit. It was a perspective of nowadays can be pretty serious, you know? We go to leave and we get in the vehicle, big SUV, dog's in the back. And it is insane how decked out everything is. I was astonished. I feel like an F-16 didn't have that much stuff in it. He's going through the whole scenario, and you know, you got an assault rifle right here. This is serious stuff. He's like, yeah, man, like, I'm gonna tell you this, but everything's here, and in case something crazy goes down, I don't expect you to just sit in here taking shots, so if it goes crazy, here's how you access this, and the assault rifle. Just slingshot the bolt and rock and roll. I think he figured out I was okay since the Air Force just okayed me to fly in an F-16, but wasn't gonna be something necessary. So we get going, I am just taken aback by the amount of gear here. People used to go to war without this much equipment and things. So we're going out, I'm kind of looking around, and you know, this is my old neighborhood. I used to live in this area and go around. So we're driving around, it's a normal day, and it hasn't sunk into me yet that I'm riding around with the police. Just talking, we got gear and stuff. And he starts showing me how it works, and we're riding along traffic, and he's just like, sees a license plate, types it in real quick, brings up all the information. I'm like, wow. If somebody gets pulled over previously, police can make notes about people. So they can be like, this person was very respectful and nice. Or this, I'm not saying I saw any like that, but it's like, this person was a total jerk and confrontational. We go in the median, sitting there in the median, I'm like, whoa, wait, we can do this. I guess we're the cops, okay. And we're watching traffic come by, like for speeding. And he's like, okay, watch this. We don't even need to put radar in. Watch the faces of everybody that drives by. I'm like, what do you mean? I look, I'm like, oh my God. It's a tell. Like, you can watch people clear as day. Like, you can tell they're like, they immediately look at their speedometer like this, or they're like, look at the cop, they're real chill, or they're like, look forward, like, don't let him see me, or like, look away. And he's like, yeah, we're trained to like read body language and people for situations. This is unbelievable. It's like, the whole perspective of the world changed with this. So we're typing things in, and we see a car, and he types in a license plate, and sees something on there. He's like, yeah, man, I can't do this, but look over at that car and tell me what your read is on that person. Now, I'm a civilian. I can read somebody any way I give it. I'm like, well, it's a pearl white car with really dark window tinting and what I would say drug dealer wheels. He's like, just kind of like laughs like this, and we're following. and looking. And actually the person ran a red light or something like that. So we got pulled over and I look and I'm like, yeah, and they got a bunch of dangly air fresheners from the rearview mirror. And he laughs and goes, he's like, yeah, we kind of joke. We call that the felony forest. So it's a traffic stop. And he's like, yeah, you can sit here. And here's the little TV and here's the volume control for my mic and camera. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm sitting in the police car, right, with the dog in the back. And I've actually like tuning in to this guy while he's making the traffic stop. Everything's recorded, of course. It was the most amazing small town nosy thing you could ever do. Like I'm thinking if my grandmother was still around, she'd be like, this is great. What's going on? Get the police scanner out, you know? This person was being really, really nice and respectful, but it hit me what the job is like of a police officer. Like you don't necessarily know how anybody's gonna react. And you have got to be steadfast and reasonable and respectful and with all protocol. And the world is watching. And this guy, he comes back and gets the dog out to sniff the car. And the dog hits on it, smells something, which gives them the legal right to actually look at the car or talk about it, search it. And the guy apparently borrowed the car from someone. And he had like some sort of related paraphernalia that relates to marijuana. There wasn't any marijuana or whatnot in it. But I think it was like an insanely minor offense. But I just remember the police officer being so cool to this guy, like just absolutely reasonable. And the guy was being like fine about everything too. And they came over to like search him on the or the hood of the car, just kind of like pat him down. And I'm like, oh, do I make eye contact with the guy? This is awkward. I'm sitting in there like, hey man, yeah, how's your day? It's all right? Okay. And it's starting to hit me, even though nothing big has happened. This is kind of edgy. So it gets later in the evening and he goes, yeah, man, we'll go hit the highway and I'll let you shoot laser. This will be great. I'm like, all right, I get to be the guy shooting laser now. So we head out and before that though, he got a call. There was a state trooper that had pulled someone over on the highway. And this is a highway I've traveled a lot in my past. So we get the dog out and he's like, yeah, come on out, man. He's got the guy in the back of the car. The dog hits on it. So now the state trooper, this police officer, a new friend of mine, and me in civilian clothes, we're searching this car. But at that moment, I realized I'm just wearing a leather jacket and jeans. And I'm standing by the side of a majorly trafficked highway where I used to live and know a lot of people in civilian clothes. Well, people are assuming, God, what happened to Casey? What is he, he's getting searched for drugs? No, I'm just hanging out with the cops, man. So I was kind of self-conscious, but it was funny. But just learned a lot. The dog was cool. But I was a mechanic, so I'm like, search there. They might have got something there. If they're really clever, you could probably hide something there. He's like, yeah, this guy's not that high level of a drug guy. Like the drug dealers get smarter, but this guy. So I don't know, I thought it was helpful. But later we go on the same highway and we're in the median. It's dark, we got like a red light on. And I got the laser, I'm shooting laser. And he's telling me what you have to do and you have to see it and get laser to verify it and all. And how when the people drive by in the headlights, you look and see what their faces are as kind of a tell. And you look for senses of danger or if something wrong is going on with people or something domestic or somebody got kidnapped. So it's just amazing the amount of stuff they have to think of and look after and coordinate. And so I'm shooting laser. Actually, I was getting pretty bored because no one was speeding. So we're talking and all of a sudden he gets a call and he's got an earbud in because of radios and he's totally wired into everything. He's like, okay, we gotta go. And I'm like, what? So all of a sudden lights come on and we pull out. And I'm not thinking anything. We just get on the highway. And I'm like, whoa, dude, we're speed. Oh, wait, we're the cops. We can speed. I didn't realize this. I'm like, getting up. What are we doing? He's like, robbery in progress. I'm like, oh, right, let's go. And I don't know, that's probably my small town, overly eager person. I'm like, okay, let's go. We're hauling it to this place. They're coming around a roundabout. He's like, yeah, I'd be going to the roundabout here a lot faster, but we got the dog in the back. I gotta be nice. I'm like, okay, good call, good call. We show up to this neighborhood and it's dark. There's not a lot of lights there and we got a map. He's like, tell you what, man, you look at the map. So and it's kind of fun for me now because I feel like this is a team effort. And he's looking, I'm like, okay, where? No, here, there, got it, there, get it. He's like, okay, man, you might want to stay inside for this one because we don't know, like, whatever. So I stay in there. I'm kind of hunkered down. I'm like, I got this. Small town. All right. You guys are looking at this. I'm searching the shadows. I am waiting to see somebody lurking or running. I got this. And it was amazing. There was like 5 cops on it right now. And I was just amazed at how well coordinated that can be. So they look around, check the perimeter, all it's whatever, and I end up walking around with them. Everything was fine. So we're driving around later and had a little bit of a lull time. Had the dog out at park exercising, you know, the dog, because he's definitely a member of the team. And I'm just amazed by this dog. And saw some people he knew, and we're standing there talking to him. And actually, the dog was still in the car at this time. Air conditioning's on, so he's fine. And his friends are like, yeah, where's the dog? And he goes, oh, hold on. And he pushes a button on his vest. The door pops open of the police car, dog out, at attention right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a trunk monkey, but way better, right? So dog's there, he's being cool, and he's got this thing they used to train, something the dog can bite with handles and whatnot. And this dog is jacked, right? And I'm playing with the dog, and I like big dogs you can kind of wrestle with. And he's like a crocodile. He's just like, shake it, right? And I'm holding this thing, and he's like, yeah, be careful of that on your arms. And I go, oh my gosh, it's not a dog. You've got a Wookiee. Like, he will pull your arms out of your sockets, man. And I'm like, this is all right. And the dog is going like this. I'm kind of playing with him. He's being cool like this and shaking. And then I realize, I go, hey man, when you're training and working with your dog, does he shake around and smack you in the balls now and then? He's like, more than you know, brother. That is his favorite move. It's like, all right, dude, come over here. I don't want to get hit in the balls. But it was a great day. Obviously, a lot of fun. And I think a lot of car guys are police officers and, vice versa. It's just gearheads, right? I think we get so jaded nowadays, especially with social media. Like one tiny little thing becomes a giant blow up and everybody feels terror about it. And everybody's at odds with each other. And this is going to sound corny, but just bear with me. I remember when I was a kid, some time ago, I would watch the Andy Griffith Show reruns. And, Mayberry and Andy Griffith was always kind of like an idealized small American town. You know what I mean? Everybody had their characters or maybe their flaws, but they were people. And the root of the show was Andy Griffith, the sheriff. And he didn't even carry a gun. He just cared about people. He got it. He knew when to stand his ground. He knew when to care. He knew when to have a drink with somebody who cared about their life. That sort of thing. Nowadays, we all think that's all gone. It's just fantasy. Nobody cares about anybody. It's difficult. But it hit me. That caring about your community that was shown or idealized as the Andy Griffith character back then still exists. It's just that nowadays they've got to wear way more gear and they're responsible for so many more things. But those good values that I saw long ago on reruns, I got to see with a new car buddy, riding along with him and his police officer team members, including the dog too.
This month's car stories are sponsored by The Ridge. The Ridge makes a line of wallets and bags that are designed to be minimalist and help us just take with us the things we actually need. So check out the link in the description below for a discount and buy one for yourself, or they make great Christmas presents. And be sure to let them know how thankful you are for their support of VINwiki.